What's going on, everyone? My name is Tom from Dreadlabs, and today we're going to talk about suppliers.
Dreadlabs.
Right, so welcome back to the 12th episode of the Starting a Clothing Brand series. In this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about suppliers. Suppliers are basically companies that will deliver t-shirts or any garments that you want to make to you. Basically, you're talking to factories who will get your clothing made. In the past episodes, we've been mainly talking about blanks, and blanks are basically pre-made t-shirts where you can print your t-shirts on. But today I want to talk a bit more about suppliers, give you guys some insight on how to approach them. So the main website where I go and get in touch with a supplier is on Alibaba.com. You might know this because this is a brother or sister website to AliExpress. Basically, you can get in touch with suppliers from China, Pakistan, and a lot of these factories are mainly based in Asia. And that might cause for a little bit of trouble and a little bit of error. So today I wanted to give you guys some quick and easy tips on how to get started with this. I'm also going to go through some tips on making a tag file. A tag file is basically a PDF file that you can send to your supplier with all of the instructions on how to make a certain t-shirt. That, however, will be only available for people on Patreon, specifically to the tier Dreadlabs Insiders. So if you want to learn more about that, watch until the end of the video. So like I said, the main website where I go to talk to suppliers is Alibaba.com. Basically, you can search for any garment in there and get some info on that. So let's just do that right now, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how the website works. Alright, so as you can see, this website looks fairly similar to AliExpress, if you're familiar with it. Anyways, we're going to look for, let's just say, a coach jacket. And after searching, you can definitely see there are a load of varieties of different kind of coach jackets that you can get printed. So while looking at the screen, some information here is the price, of course, the shipping price. Another very important one, especially if you're just starting out and have a certain budget, is the MOQ. So MOQ stands for minimum order quantity. Basically telling you this is the minimum of pieces that you have to order once you get this made. So looking at the first example, this one requires you to get at least 10 pieces because the MOQ is 10. So they range from $7.20 to $25. I think this is depending on the sizes and the accessories and also like the printing on it. So yeah, if you're on a budget, basically take a good look at the minimum order quantity and multiply that with the price that you can see on there. I would definitely advise you to compare lots of different suppliers to see which one is the best for you. And something that might be a little bit scary if you're kind of like socially awkward like me is actually getting in touch with them. I remember the first time when I did this, I was quite scared because it was kind of exciting. I'm just going to give you guys some tips on how to get in touch with these suppliers. So if we just click on, let's just say this one. So we can get a little bit more of insight on what the actual specifications are. So you can get different colors on them, as you can see here. It's also very important to look at these sizes here. One thing to note with the sizes is because these jackets are mainly made in Asia, is that the sizes might be a little bit different from what you're used to. So if you're not sure about the sizes, make sure that you can actually measure something similar that you have laying around and compare the sizes with that of the jacket that you want to order or any other garment basically. So if you want to get in touch with manufacturers, the best thing to do is just get in touch with them through the contact supplier button here. And you can just send an inquiry. Some of these have a couple of attributes that you have to fill in. As you can see here, the shell material, the 7-day sample order lead time, the feature, the size and the color. Basically what you need to do if you want to get in touch with someone like this is make a list for yourself. So I have my notepad set up right here. And basically I'm going to write down every single specification that I need. Okay, so the minimum order quantity here is at least 100 pieces. That's quite a lot for a small brand like me. The first thing you probably want to have is a sample. Most suppliers actually offer samples. They come with a price. Sometimes they come in for free. But yeah, you can basically have these samples sent to you so you can check them out, hold them for a second, and basically see if you have any feedback on them before they start actually manufacturing all of your pieces. So yeah, one thing is always be sure to ask for a sample and what does it cost. So the minimum order quantity is listed. So I would always say the quantity of the pieces. Also, you need to think about the printing. So does this need to be screen printed, DTG printed? Does it need a print anyways? Really ask yourself that and be as thorough as possible. In this example, I'm going to say screen printing front and screen printing back. And also, if you're screen printing, I'm just gonna do it in one color. All right. Another thing that you might want to do is do customized labels. So for example, when you just get a t-shirt online, there's always like a neck label inside there. I always usually ask if they can apply the neck label because most of these manufacturers actually can do the custom label in the same factory, or they at least have a factory where they work with. So yeah, I would always also say, just write that down. So the next thing is you obviously need to be polite, but you don't need to write your whole life story. Be short, thorough, but don't leave any important information out. So let's just write this down real quick. All right, so I just quickly wrote this down. Hello, I want to have a blue t-shirt screen printed on the front and the back. I would need 100 pieces. I was also wondering if you could send a sample and how much it would cost. Screen printing color should be white, the front print should be 10 centimeters in width, and the back print should be 25 centimeters in width. In the attachment, you'll find all of the information. Thank you. So obviously, when printing a t-shirt, there comes in a little bit less specifications than, for example, with a coat or something, where you need to have like certain kinds of pockets. So you need pockets on the inside of the jacket. Do you need like one of those hanger parts? Really look at the piece that you want to have made and be as specific as possible. One thing to note before you send this off is that there's usually, at least for me, a time difference between me and a factory from China. So yeah, be aware of where you are living and where you are sending your message from, because looking at the time difference, for example, when I would send something in the morning, I would get a same day response, but if I would send it at night, it would take a full night for me to see a reply, for example, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you're in a hurry, be aware of time zones. Now, before we send this off, I can imagine that you might wonder, okay, this looks a little bit vague. And that's obviously because we only sent this in text. So what we're basically gonna do is make a tag file in Illustrator to ensure that there's nothing that can go wrong here. So for example, something that might go wrong here in this text is that this front print would be 10 centimeters, but I'm not specifying at the height which this should be printed. Should it be printed on the chest? Should it be printed on the side? Should it be printed in the middle? So yeah, stuff like that needs to be specified, and that's where tag packs come in. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm actually going to go into full details of making a tag pack in Illustrator on my Patreon. If you want to become a patron, there's a link in the description. You'll get access to all of my project files from my tutorials, access to full videos from the Starting a Clothing Brand series, a 15% discount in the Dreadlabs web store, and an exclusive Discord role. So yeah, if you want to become a patron, there's a link in the description. If you have any more questions, please let me know in the comments. And with all of that being said, this was Tom from Dreadlabs. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next video.